They touch gloves and a very quick start for these two fighters, exchanging leg kicks. Smeltzer tagged him up a little bit, getting in. Again, swarming attack here from Prokopy, trying to get him up close, and a spinning takedown.
Ty getting right back up and going to the cage and allowing himself to hang there, but ooh.
A little dirty boxing in there from Smeltzer.
And that's what they're going to need. They're going to need to add some strikes, some punches, some kicks, and the disengage from Chris Smeltzer.
Smeltzer bounces right back out, feeling he's getting the better of the distance exchanges. And again, Prokopy just walking forward, throwing punches with both fists.
And deja vu, Smeltzer having his hands still low, but still with the successful takedown and putting Ty's butt on the mat.
Yeah, it's 2 takedowns now for Smeltzer here in the early going. Prokopy has that arm in guillotine holding him in place. Don't know that he's necessarily a danger to finish the fight at this point. Now Smeltzer's head's popped right out. As we see Smeltzer now land a shot from the top.
He needs to free that left arm of his. If he's gonna obtain posture and just advance in the actual position. Here he is trying, but again, his head's down, and where the head goes, the body follows, unfortunately.
Punch.
Pops up.
Yeah, you got to think Smeltzer's popping up because he doesn't want any part of the ground game. He figures he's got the better of the striking. He's not allowed to punch the head of a downed opponent, so why not get right back on the feet where you are allowed to punch him in the head. Nice catch of the kick and a takedown followed through by Ty Prokopy.
The important thing whenever throwing a strike is to bring it back just as fast, if not faster. Chris Smeltzer got lazy with that kick, and unfortunately there's a lot of repeats in some of the mistakes that he made in his last appearance. He's been able to get those takedowns, fortunately, and score those, like you said. He's not necessarily hanging around there, but he's scoring, and that's the important part.
Again, Prokopy just holding on to Smeltzer at this point. Smeltzer's down, but now right back up. And Prokopy trying to work for a submission, trying to pop out. Nice knee to the midsection there. And up pops Smeltzer, and they're both swinging for the fences.
I don't like where his hands are.
No, it looks like more of a scramble from Smeltzer, but there he comes in with a couple nice lefts.
He's pushing forward, and you gotta appreciate that. But again, against a true welterweight, he would possibly be out again.
10 seconds left here in round number 1 between Smeltzer and Prokopy. Smeltzer has Prokopy up against the cage and now gets another takedown.
At the very least, there's a lot of action. I think moving forward, Chris Smeltzer needs to raise his hands and not be lazy pulling back any of his punches and kicks. It's not about tagging someone, it's about bringing it back and not getting another hit. There he goes, rocking Ty.
A big punch there sends Prokopy reeling back towards the cage. Prokopy almost a desperation shot there, but not able to get Prokopy down. And again, now it's got to be punches, no elbows to the head of an opponent here under the amateur rules. And now looking for the guillotine, and now Prokopy trying to sink his way out of it and drop down. An interesting decision, Elias, because of course that just puts a little more weight of your opponent on you as opposed to trying to take the weight off of you.
He repositioned himself, and now he's in a more dominant position, and he's going for the choke. I don't think it's necessarily there, but again, it's just controlling and imposing your will. Whether it's landing or not, it's in an uncomfortable. Ty is in an uncomfortable position.
And now that forearm right across the neck of Ty Prokopy. He's defending by holding on to the wrist, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to get the leverage you need here if you're Chris Smeltzer.
No,
big elbow to the midsection and pops away looking for strikes. Smeltzer's punches are coming in a lot slower than
a lot slower, a lot lower, and a lot of what he shouldn't be doing.
Now on the other side, when he does land, Prokopy's going backwards pretty good. So they're still landing with power when they get through.
110%. But this chaos is where anything is going to happen. We might, again, it's a big back and forth. It just takes one shot to change the direction of the fight for either of these two.
Knees to the leg of Smeltzer. Now bending out the arm. Again, just trying to control his opponent. He picks up the one leg. Smeltzer now on one leg. Prokopy trying to get in there. Now Smeltzer puts his leg back down after Prokopy starts firing punches. Pushes him away. And again, Ty Prokopy, boxer, and stood in, so he knows how to take shots, and now just kicking each other in the shins as they step forward. Ari talks about it in the pre-fight. These guys aren't the polished fighters that you're going to see in February, for example, on a UFC card out of Halifax, where we might see a very familiar face. But these guys are looking to finish the fight at all times. Every punch is coming with the intention of the knockout. Every kick is looking to take the other guy's leg off.
110%. They don't have that the reservation. For the most part, they're going. Again, it might not be the best practice as a long-term aspect in regards to one's career, but it leaves for an exciting fight.
And we'll take a look at the replay of the low blow here, and there it is.
Woo, right in the hoo-hoo.
Caught it and quickly dropped it. More paying attention to what was going on downstairs. Yeah, another dangerously high kick from Smeltzer. That inner thigh is taking a beating. A takedown here, not a takedown, a drop into guard, but no time left. And it starts, as most do, with a touch of gloves.
Ty Prokopy going for the takedown and gets the trip.
Well, and again, that is again the amateur rules here in Calgary. Because he knows he can't strike on the ground. He feels he's getting the better of the striking, so Chris Smeltzer backing away from an opportunity where he could have wound up on top.
It definitely does change the game up, and again, you have to evolve. Here you go, Ty Prokopy giving up his neck once again to Chris Smeltzer, and even though it's not necessarily doing anything, you gotta think that that's putting something in the mind of the judges that at least Chris Smeltzer is trying. He's looking for those. There you go, and a strike and coming out of it. But this is not what he wants. He doesn't want to be at the end of it, especially against the cage.
Another big kick to the leg, and that one hurt. I think his knee's in trouble. Prokopy goes down to the ground. He eats one on the way down, and I think Prokopy's in big trouble. Smeltzer needs to get away and get up because Prokopy's knee is in a bad way right now, and he needs to get away from him.
Knee or whatever it is, definitely his leg is hurting. It could be the kicks, it could be a kick in the wrong way, but yeah, again, hindsight's 20/20. He's not seen from the angles. He doesn't have the luxury to look at his opponent and be like, your knee, something's wrong there. He's just going. He needs to just impose as well, and he's still in a dominant position, but I agree. In many ways, he's having success on his feet. If your opponent is desperately trying to take you to the ground, there might be a reason.
Yeah, you see Chris Smeltzer here now on top of Prokopy. Prokopy just driving through, trying to secure that takedown. Smeltzer content to hold him. At this point, you got to think that you're looking for punches to the stomach. As, again, you can't strike the head of a downed opponent, but that doesn't stop you from striking a downed opponent.
Punch a hole in his chest.
Trying now to get into the full mount. Not the best position here under amateur rules. Now in a side guard.
But it's a dominant position nonetheless. If you want to score, it might not be the most exciting thing, but he is winning this round and most definitely, at this point, winning the fight.
Smeltzer in a half guard. Apologies there, but now in the mount. And from here, it's pretty much submission or bust. You need to be able to get a submission. He's lying down on him, trying to solidify the air. And it looks like you're getting stood up here.
Don't really understand why, especially if he was on top in an advantage position, but
maybe he thought there was a strike to the head, like a shoulder.
Maybe, understood. At this point, it looks like Ty Prokopy doesn't necessarily want to be there to some extent. He's, in many ways, just trying to tie up and not suffer more damage. I don't think he's necessarily looking for a finish at this point. He's looking at surviving.
Well, and with 10 seconds to go, that's all you really need to do. He's down the third round. He knows he probably lost the second round. And so regardless of where a tight first round goes, with just a couple seconds left, that's not in a good spot.